Hello and welcome to another brief little video talking about current events, and this one is about alcohol and alcohol sales and consumption in America. So let's watch this real quick.
I'm Conway Gittins reporting from the New York Stock Exchange. Here's what we're watching on the street today. Inflation is finally taking its toll on a part of the economy that's normally inflation-proof. The alcoholic beverage industry is headed for a down year in 2024. Sales volumes dropped 3% in the first 7 months of the year, according to analysis by IWSR, and the numbers are not expected to get better. One reason? Pricing. Some of the biggest players in the game, Johnny Walker owner Diageo, Absolute Vodka Company Pernod Ricard, Proximo Spirits, which is behind the Jose Cuervo tequila brand, Brown-Forman, maker of iconic Jack Daniel's whiskey, and the giant of them all, Anheuser-Busch InBev, have each indicated consumers are trading down to cheaper bottles. Private labels have sensed an opening. Discount supermarket chain Aldi, for example, is capitalizing with lower-priced malt-based cocktails, wine, and beer. Meanwhile, Costco's Kirkland Signature label has a wide array of alcohol on offer at a discount price. But that's not the only thing hurting the drinks business. Industry sales are coming off an extraordinary boost provided by the COVID years when consumers went on a drinking binge. Now that sales are normalizing, a lot more bottles are being left on shelves, further pressuring sales volumes. There is one category, however, that's being left out of the slump: ready-to-drink mixes in the can, or RTDs. This segment of the hard drinks business is up 2% through the first half of the year. And that'll do it for your daily briefing from the New York Stock Exchange. I'm Conway Gittins with The Street.
All right, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, when I first saw this story, my first impression was, yay, good for us. But, I was wrong. This title here, Surprising Reason Americans, are drinking less. Sorry, that's a little bit cut off. It's kind of a bunch of who shot John. They kind of, played with the statistics. First of all, 3%, a 3% decrease in sales, that's not really very significant. And all they did was, meaning consumers, all they did was, instead of choosing the top shelf liquor, they're just choosing the house liquor. So that's all that is. That's not like a decrease in drinking, which is what I was hoping they were going to be talking about, because I made a short recently talking about some of the scapegoats that Christians, particularly on like social media and in the media, there are certain like scapegoats that they like to point out, and those scapegoats tend to be things like single moms, people or women in yoga pants, and the LGBT community. And I'm not here being all, rah rah yoga pants or rah rah LGBT or anything like that. But I just feel like you always hear about those scapegoats being kind of blamed for everything in society when there are other things that could be pointed out as well. And for one, alcohol. Feel free to do a, 2 minutes worth of research and you'll see what I mean as far as statistics. I looked up some statistics about alcohol after reading this story in preparation for this video. And there are some things that I've known for a long time. Then there are some things that I was kind of surprised about. And these are just kind of off the top of my head. I may try and find the article once again and post it. But, again, you can do the research for yourself as well. Anyway, in about half of all domestic violence calls, alcohol is involved. And I was aware of that a long time ago. I heard a statistic that said that overall, for all police calls, alcohol is the most consistent drug involved in police calls. Let's see. I think it was about a third of all assaults involved alcohol. In a lot of sexual assaults, alcohol is involved. And this is what surprised me. in a lot of robberies and homicides, alcohol was involved. I guess I was a little bit surprised by that, especially robbery, because I thought that you would kind of need to be on your A game a little bit more than that, but I guess not. And I was surprised when it came to homicides as well, because again, I thought that you would need to be a little bit sharp for that, but I guess, some of these are probably crimes of passion where someone is like murdered in a fit of rage. But anyway, alcohol is really a menace to society. And so that's something that if people are going to point fingers and say, well, this is the problem, and I'm talking about Christians, I mean, they really should just be telling people about how their soul needs a savior. They can't make it on their own, and that savior is Christ. That's what I think that needs to be happening. But if they're going to point fingers at something, I thought about this and I was like, very rarely, I could probably count on one hand, have I ever heard a pastor anywhere discuss alcohol and how destructive it is. So, anyway, I just wanted to say that for the sake of transparency, I'm not a real big drinker. I've had, some nights when I've kind of been on one. So, I'm not saying that I'm a teetotaler. Once in a while, I will drink socially, but, I don't get out like I used to. So, I don't drink very often. I was never a real heavy drinker, but, again, there have been some nights when I've been kind of on one. But anyway, I just thought that should that would just be an interesting thing to discuss as far as alcohol and why no one really points out, the problem that it really is. And furthermore, I also believe that alcohol is kind of a gateway to using other substances, because I remember being in college and stuff like that. I remember hearing people say, well, I don't drink because I don't want to deal with a hangover, but I will do X, Y, and Z because, and they were talking about a drug, usually like marijuana, because there's no like hangover there. So yeah, it's just something to be discussed and just something to be aware of. And I just think that more people, since this is supposed to be a Christian nation, should probably take a stance against alcohol, or at least decide to um, be very particular about what they drink and when they drink. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Let me know if you have a comment. So thank you for watching, and I will be back with another video.